So what's up, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. It's Tuesday. It's Elevate with the Boss, with your favorite boss, Chantel the Boss. Follow me on the gram, Chantel Price _ the Boss. I'm here with my DJ, Rich Black, in the building.
Yeah, what's up?
And it's our first day back. What's up, Rich?
Cooling, man. Another day in the dollar, another world.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was amazing.
What you do?
We are currently just got the thumbs up that the Ballin movie version that we're submitting is been approved. So
Okay.
the process of creating a film in this market is difficult. There's always something. You had a nipple out.
Mm-hmm.
You had a cheek, too much cheek out.
Yeah, I mean, if we saw the unedited version.
Yeah, so finally got that approved. Also, the music was approved. We did the soundtrack ourselves. So, so I spent the weekend getting it to the finish line, and
Okay.
finally got the word from the power that be that we are good money. So now we're officially on the market. Tubi is on. What they say in the draft. So Tubi is now on deck, right? So they're on deck. We're meeting with Hulu, and we're meeting with BET, and we're meeting with Man Robinson and Dennis Reed. So they're all on deck. They're on the clock. That's the word.
Okay.
They're on the clock. And Tubi's on the clock. They have a few hours to make a decision on their offer, and then we're moving it to the next platform and the next platform.
Okay, so when it comes to straight exclusive, we want more coins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can't go nowhere. We gotta wait on our bread. We gotta give them some money to hold us quiet in our seats.
Right.
And that's the process. We're having a good time going through it. I've done several projects before, but I never was in the captain's chair. So
Okay.
now
This new.
It's new being in the captain's chair, and even though I am a part of a 3-man captain's room, but handling it it's been amazing. And we're currently starting casting for our next project, which is called The Heist, or AKA the Late Shift.
Okay.
We're filming that September 15th to the 21st.
You can't talk about it.
Okay. I'm a ready to black.
Okay. Let me see. Just what is gives us a synopsis.
The Heist is the night shift is based on a strip club in Atlanta that was robbed earlier this year. Club Iris.
Okay, I remember you telling us this.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's based on that. That's the backdrop of the story, and then it's the twisted mind of my man Julian Booth and myself, but more so Julian's twisted mind, and how we created this strip club and the goings on in the strip club.
Okay.
And it getting robbed. Okay. And all that goes on with it getting robbed, and so
that seemed dope.
Yeah, it's dope. It's like set it off.
It's like the plot, plotting it.
Yeah. So our week say it's like Set It Off meets Panic Room.
Okay.
Urban.
All right. Well, shout out. That's last year you did a movie. October?
Yeah, last October.
Last October, and now
September, back
11 months later, you back at it. Well, congrats on all your success.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about. Enjoying what you do. People always be like, it's so many people out here writing films, shooting films. No kind of plan behind it. It's just, hey, I got a gift and I'm gonna shoot the film. But it's so much stuff that goes into, there's making the film, and then there's the business of film. So yes, you might be a great director. Yes, you might be a good sound editor. But in all actuality, it could be shot, But it's the marketing behind it. It's the branding behind it. It's the distribution.
And it's also the smaller details. Like, I have to make sure everyone gets credit, right? So Chantel the Boss, you have your credit in the movie.
Oh yeah, I did work on the project.
Right. So just doing that, the tedious dotting the I's and crossing the T's. That process is long.
It's long.
People think, that's 5 minutes. No, because spelling.
And there were a lot of people. There's a lot of people on a project. Even a person that's driving.
The driver got to get credit.
The driver got to get credit.
So many moving parts.
So that's what people I feel like don't understand. They might do something, but if you, okay, let's just say we have a product. Just because the product might be great, it might be good, but if it doesn't have a marketing strategy to push through to the masses, it will never get the notoriety that it needs. I had a business, I closed it, and that was the number one failure. It was a great business, but after the traction dies out of the grand opening, right?
Yeah.
That after the grand opening traction stops, what's next?
Hopefully not a grand closing.
That's exactly what happened. It was like grand opening May, grand closing December.
Right.
And one thing I want y'all to know about me, I do not stay in the business long enough to be like, it was a year struggle in the book. Nah, Nizzle, I ain't gonna even lie to you. It ain't had no plan to begin with. I'm not gonna sit here and not make no money from it. It's just not working. Exhaust all options. I'm not saying that was like my third business. It was like, all right, I'm not playing with this. I'm closing it, and then I'll bring it back open when I have a real strategy. That's what I feel like a lot of people, and I'll say it myself, I was a victim of this. That's why I tell y'all, I was in a car and I said, everything that I do to myself is always the reject version. And I'm only saying that because I'm always the trial dummy for everything that I push out. So I spend a lot of money on testing and research. So when it get to the public and it get to the masses, you're getting the best version of it because the kinks is already working out because I already went through the kinks. When I first started teaching like business credit and stuff like that, I had to do it for myself. I had to build out all my companies, see what the process is, how long it took for each trade line to hit. Then I said, okay, after they get to this score, what can I apply for? So I applied for all those things. I went through the funding process and I said, okay, let me create a course or create like a little strategy for people to do it. Yes, it's going to cost you, but it also took me 2 to 3 years to actually research and develop. And it's only taking you 10 minutes to buy the book or ebook or something like that, and you get the process quickly. So when you see entrepreneurs selling stuff, oh, I can learn that on my own. You can. Anybody can learn something on their own.
Right.
Like,
for real.
we could all go to YouTube right now
Right.
and learn how to broadcast radio.
Right.
But guess what? That takes time. And guess what? We don't have time. I said this on the last show. Everybody, when we were growing up, they was like, go ahead, Joy. You got time. You got time. We do not have time, y'all. I think that was the worst thing they could have told us because everybody is 20 playing, 22 playing, 23 playing, 24 playing, and then we get serious at 30. When you had 10 years of your life just dwindled and you have nothing to show for it. So I'm telling you, you don't have time. You want to start that business? Do it now. You want to lose weight? Do it now. You want to leave that girl? Do it now. You want to leave that guy? Do it now. So do those things now because one thing most people fail. Well, they really do not. They're scared of failure. But the ultimate thing, I would be scared of regret. Regret is the biggest thing that holds you over for your life. Like at 45, you like, yo, I was good at radio. I was good at cooking. I was good at writing scripts. I was good at all these things, but guess what? I didn't do it. And then you ever see a hater like, oh, I'm better than that person. Oh, I'm better than that person. I could have did that. Well, why you ain't do it then?
Cause you couldn't.
You couldn't. You couldn't do it. I was listening to KD the other day, and KD, Kevin Durant, was like, you could be talented. Everybody's talented. God gave us all something great.
Yeah, I could pick bookers fast. That don't mean I can make money off of it.
Exactly. So are you talented? Everybody's talented. But can you execute? Execute efficiently. Execute properly. So I'm learning that we have to stop wasting time. Acting like, I'm only 30. And then I'm only 35. I'm only 40. I'm only 45. Time keeps going and going. I would never believe that I would be 36, about to be 37 in a couple weeks. Like, time be flying. And as time is flying, I'm looking at how can I help my generation that I'm currently in my family, and how can I assist with the future generation, my kids, my grandkids, my nieces, my great nieces. And ultimately, I feel like this lifetime that I am in, probably the next 5 years, is really about building a foundation and infrastructure of my family. My dad started it as far as the entrepreneurship and the hustling aspect, and I'm seeing him open this business and having this property. He started it. Now it needs to elevate. Every generation should be elevating, not staying the same. No, we don't want to be the same. We should be elevating. So if you look at your parents, yes, you should be better than your parents. Yes, your kids should be better than you. So I was reading this thing on the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts. And most people hear about the Rockefellers more than they hear about the Vanderbilts, because the Rockefellers, they made their wealth on the oil industry and stuff like that. And then they did a lot of philanthropy work, giving back to the community and helping others. So when you help others, your name ring bells more than anything. It travels faster. Yeah. Yes, you can have a lot of money. You know, a lot of people have a lot of money. But do you have influence on the generation you in and the generation and your legacy? Was your legacy just that you were rich and wealthy? Or was your legacy you were rich and you helped others? That was the difference between, I felt, and I'm telling you, I have you did this, Rich? Like, just look at wealthy families. Like, how did it happen? You look at the Hiltons. You look at, was Trump a family dynamic? No, he was the first generation. No,
his father was a slumlord.
Okay, so if we're looking at the family dynamic, and this is business too. If whatever industry you in, look at the business that is successful and mimic it, and then see what they did wrong, because they're successful for a reason. So people be like, I'm worrying about myself. I'm doing my own thing. No, you got to do your research. How did Chick-fil-A get to where they needed to be when there was McDonald's? When there was KFC chicken, right? Where there's Popeyes sell chicken. Why does Chick-fil-A have this dynamic? That should be studied, right? How did McDonald's come about? You think McDonald's started from just McDonald's brothers? No. McDonald's brothers, they sold that company for $2 million because they couldn't grow it.
They couldn't grow it no further.
They couldn't grow it no further. Ray Kroc is the reason why McDonald's is where it needs to be. And then we have our KFC, our Popeyes, things like that. So if you want to get in business, and whatever business you in, study a successful business. So that's what I do. My biggest thing, I think, in the next, like I said, 5 years, is how to grow wealth. Not being rich, how to grow wealth amongst the generations. So if you know the story about the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, they made their money on like the train systems and the railroads and things like that. They had more money. They were richer. When they started, what is it? So you got John Rockefeller, Vanderbilt. What's his first name? What is Vanderbilt's first name?
Well, his wife was Angie's mom named
Cornelius.
Cornelia. His daughter was Gloria.
Okay. Yes, Gloria. But when Gloria, before she died, she was worth $200 million. Guess how much when she died, how much she worth?
How much?
1.5. That the estate dwindled from her estate, Gloria's. It dwindled from 200 million to 1.5 million before her death. That's because the infrastructure and the wealth estate planning was not planned correctly. They had money, but they only had money for that generations. This is why I like the Rockefellers, right? The Rockefellers, they created a whole estate planning. So they created irrevocable trusts. And if you don't know what that is, they are trusts that protect you, protect your assets and minimize estate taxes. They also, if an irrevocable trust owns something, your creditors can't touch you. Nobody can touch you and take your money. Basically, you don't own nothing. The trust owns everything. So basically, if somebody tried to sue you, this is why people put everything into an irrevocable trust. You no longer own it. So they can't sue you. So you own nothing. You have money, but you don't own anything. And when the understanding of irrevocable trusts and revocable trusts, the downside to irrevocable trusts, once they're started, they cannot be changed.
Oh.
They cannot be changed. They can be changed by a court order, or they can be changed by the beneficiaries of that trust. Because you no longer own it, you can't change it. So you either got to go to court, or the beneficiaries, y'all got to set up a meeting and everything has to be changed. So the grantor is the person that creates the trust, the irrevocable trust. But now the trust owns all your assets that you put into it. So you own nothing. So most people do a revocable trust. It could be changed. It could be revoked. It could be amended and things like that. The thing is, you still own the day to day. So if a creditor try to come and get you, they could get something out of that trust. Also, with a revocable trust, you don't escape estate taxes. With an irrevocable trust, you don't have to pay estate taxes. So people be like, I got a will. A will doesn't mean anything. A will can go to probate court. Trusts do not go to probate court. So that's what I like about the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers created irrevocable trusts, and this helped them with taxes. So and then they set up everything from generation to generation. So John Rockefeller, he set it up for 8 generations to distribute to 8 generations. Versus the Vanderbilts, they did not have estate planning. So a lot of their stuff went to court, and a lot of their stuff died where it wasn't reinvest the money. Everybody just got their payout.
Ooh.
So what happens with that, when everybody gets the payout, I watched that. My mom died. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My mom died. I watched my brother spend the money in a month and a half.
Wow.
My brother got the money in May and it was gone by July. Sorry. But that's because we give everything in one lump sum. But I know my kids. My kids is okay with money, but I don't know what my kids will do with the amount of money that they're going to give if I pass. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And this is where when you create a trust, you want to be able, this is that generational wealth we talking about. We're not talking about one generations. The Rockefellers got to set it up for 8 generations. They're only on the 3rd generation right now. There's 5 more generations that is going to be cool. And guess what? If this 3rd generation mess up the money, then that's on them. The 4th generation, their kids have money coming to them too. So the Rockefellers, they already set up their trust for 8 generations. Guess what else they did? They created a family constitution. John Rockefeller.
Ooh, smart.
He created a family constitution. In the Rockefeller's family constitution, it basically provided each generation with guidance, managing and preserving the wealth. The documents outline the principles, the values, and expectation for each generation. It has basically ensuring that the family legacy will be upheld for generations to come. So the Rockefellers, they put in their family constitution. For the most part, they had to go to school they had to go to school. Education was their main thing, and financial wealth. So they had to learn about the market and finance and things like that, and they had to go to school. So if y'all familiar with, like, if y'all watch Power, you see when Ghost died, and they sat at that table, and a trust is your voice beyond the grave.
Nice. He
told Tyreek, you could have some money, but guess what? You got to go to college for 4 years. You got to keep a 3.0, and you graduate in 4 years. Your room and board is paid for, and probably left like allowance or something like that. But guess what? You not getting this next payout until you do what I said. That's what trust do. It's basically, I still got to listen to whoever if I want to get my money. So that's what people don't understand. It's like, I got my will, I got my house, but set up a trust. And I'm telling you, you might not have, I wouldn't recommend an irrevocable trust if in these stages, I guess, in your building stages. I would recommend a revocable trust because it can be changed. But you could have multiple trusts too. Mm-hmm. If there's some things that you say, if somebody sue me, they not getting this. Mm-hmm. Put it in an irrevocable trust because now you don't own it. They can't sue you. Mm. So if you have something,
you have possession of it, but you don't own it.
You have possession of it. You don't own it.
Gangster.
This is how, our other kinfolk do it. This stuff is not new, y'all. This stuff is just new to us. And if you do know this information, anybody that's business strategist, accountant, or anything like this, share this information to the masses like I'm doing right now because we don't know. Just think about grandmom died, right? Grandmom house. For the most part, I'm going to tell you, my grandmom, I'm not going to lie to y'all. My grandmom had everything planned. Her burial was already paid for. Her plot was already paid for. My grandma's obituary was already completed. It already was done, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And you could get on payment plans with a funeral home. That's the crazy thing.
Big facts.
You can get a payment plan with a funeral home, and you can also get a payment plan for your burial plot. And this, you see how I'm talking about it freely? For most people, it's an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, don't talk about death.
Don't talk about death.
Don't do that.
But there are two things that's going to happen to all of us, right?
We're going to live, and then we're going to die.
We're going to live and die.
And I think paying taxes.
No, that's what I'm about to say. We're going to have to pay taxes and we're going to have to die, right? So if we just look at generations, I feel like for the most part, black folks, I love y'all. Us. I love us. But we could be we are a part of our own demise. We focus on us currently and our kids. We don't focus on our grandkids, our great-grandkids, our great-great-grandkids. Imagine working all your life. Say I worked for 40 years, Rich. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't have no estate planning. I died. Say I had like my house and I had $200,000 in life insurance. I give it to my kids, right? And in 2 months, my kids spend $200,000, and then guess what? After they spend the $200,000, they sell my damn house. Word. That I worked so hard, my 40 years of working to sell. Now my kids don't have no money, and my kids don't have no house, and guess what?
And they gotta pay taxes on it.
And they gotta pay estate taxes on it. And for the most part, if I ain't have it planned, they gotta go to probate court. So that $200,000 that they had dwindled because they gotta pay lawyers, they gotta go to court, the timing and everything like that. So this is where estate planning is so good because, so imagine if that was a scenario with my kids. I done worked 40 years and my kids lost my fortune
in 90 days.
In 90 days. Ooh. That shit is ridiculous. When you could you could spend $2,000 right now and put all your stuff in a trust. I'm telling you, do not write a will. Your will is a waste of time. Your will doesn't do anything but cause confusion in the family. You might as well put everything in a trust and you say, hey, if me and Rich was related, all right, Rich get $100,000. But guess what? Rich ain't getting that $100,000 right away. When I die, Rich get 20.
Right.
And then in 5 years, Rich get another 20. And then in 5 more years, Rich should get the rest of that 10 or whatever. I said 100. But it goes like that. Instead of dishing out, and that's what the Vanderbilts failed at. Y'all worth billions of dollars. They were the richest family in the world. And they had more money than Rockefeller. Right. But once the first person died and paid out everybody and stuff went to court and things like that, the other generation dwindled it and doing it. They still got money, but they're not set up for generations to come. Like I said, the Rockefellers are on the 3rd generation, and he set it up for 8 generations. And I'm sure the current families set up some more stuff for the 9th generation, the 10th generation, the whatever, because it's an irrevocable trust. Nothing can be changed in that trust. So not only did the Rockefellers put an irrevocable trust into place, this is where they put all their assets in there, and it's a smooth transfer of wealth between the beneficiaries of that. Then they created a family constitution. We so busy saying family over everything and things like that. Let's create a family constitution. Let's sit down as a family. This is our morals. This is our values. This is our principles. And this is our expectation for our generations. I'm going to tell you why. That holds everybody to accountability. That holds everybody to a standard. You're going to have your random bums, but they're not going to be bums. There are tiers to people.
There are definitely tiers.
Yeah. There are tiers of people where we got our greats, and then we got, they okay, and then we got okay, and then it keeps going. But you're not going to be the bum of the family if you have a family that y'all focus was education and investments. So what you think about it, Rich? About just wealth?
So it's an amazing thing. As you breaking it down, I'm seeing how we should be more guided in creating a umbrella of victory. I think a lot of times we're not built for the victory, and we're never sure of what we're looking for, and how you broke it down is important, because now I have a better understanding of what I can do to better moving my parents' wealth and my wealth forward to my daughter and then her kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dope concept. The Rockefellers definitely, the Vanderbilt definitely blew it. They blew it. But we gotta look at it. Maybe their whole mantra was philanthropic stuff, giving the money away, like
who? Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
It was
because we look at what's homeboy who owned Microsoft, Bill Gates. He's trying to give it all away. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he got a trust and those things, irreversible trust and stuff like that. But I think a lot of rich people like the Martin Lawrences and the Will Smith is wealthy, I think. But Martin is rich. Chris Rock is rich. Jay-Z's wealthy. I hope they have a plan. You know what I'm saying?
That estate plan.
I have an estate plan.
And it's crazy because everybody thinks you gotta have money to have an estate plan. You don't have to have a lot of money to create an estate plan. And the thing is, even if you don't have nothing in your savings, think about it. I worked a 9 to 5 my whole life. I didn't invest much. I didn't do 401k like that. And I'm talking to the majority of the world, not the people that got money in the bank and da-da-da-da. You worked your standard 9 to 5, maybe $60,000 a year. No real investments. You really didn't invest in 401k. I'm giving the lowest scenario. You still could leave your family something. And I'm only saying that because the one thing our community lacks is the estate planning and life insurance. That costs you $40 a month.
Word.
That costs you $40 a month to leave your kid or your offspring $200,000.
Word.
That plain and simple. You could have zero in your bank account right now, right? And you pass tomorrow, your kids will get $200,000. So this is what I mean. You might not have much. You got $40.
For sure.
You got $40.
So you buy that nickel bag of weed for $40.
You got $40. And this is where, for the most part, we focus on our generation, meaning our kids, us and our kids. But our kids gonna have kids. And then if you think about the stuff that we complain about, like, damn, I ain't had nobody. I see a lot of people complaining like, I wish I could be when they bought their house. And realtors ask this question when you buy a house. Do you have anybody in your family that can gift you the down payment money?
Word.
I'm going to repeat that for you. Do you have anybody in your family that can gift you the down money to your home? Why wouldn't you want to be that family member that could?
Word. That's what I'm saying.
That's my biggest thing, where we're complaining about our generation before us not setting us up. but you ain't setting up your kids neither. You might be setting up them in the flesh, but you're not setting them up for.
You're not putting the numbers behind them. You know, it's not adding up. What they say? The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing. You're doing a great job presently, but what if you pass? And I want you guys, as we talking about wealth, start checking your credit and stuff on a regular. Everybody doesn't know, it's this thing called the MIB report. Mm-hmm. It's the Medical Information Bureau, right? And I'm only telling y'all this because it's very important. Look it up, Medical Information Bureau. And this houses all our medical records, all our diagnosis. It houses our what is it called? Our background checks. It has all our record. The thing is, we have to watch what these doctors are putting on our charts. Now, doctors put in certain codes, and I'm telling y'all this from experience. Doctors put in certain codes for you to get certain medicines. The thing is, once that code is in the system, it goes to the Medical Information Bureau. That code can stop you from getting a lot of things. I'm telling you because it happened to me recently. I got a lot of policies. So I went about 3 weeks ago, I went to buy another life insurance policy. And I'm an agent, right, at that. So I went to go buy a policy. It denied me. It said, based on your MIB report, your policy is denied. They have to send you why. My insurance company, that I currently have a term policy. I don't like that policy, but I'm keeping it because I've been paying into it. That policy owner put that I got a misdemeanor. I don't have no misdemeanor. But it's on the MIB report. I wouldn't be able to get my license if all my license and from the securities exchange, I wouldn't be able to get my license if I had a misdemeanor or a felony. It's on my MIB report that I have a misdemeanor within the last 6 years or something. No, I don't. So I'm currently fighting that. I had to send proof. So that to invest, you have to send proof to the MIB of why you got denied, and they have to do the research on why you got denied. But I would have never knew that this thing was on my MIB report and I tried to get life insurance. Also, the crazy thing is my blood pressure thing not on there. So there must be a code that my doctor didn't put in because high blood pressure makes your insurance go up. So everything makes your insurance go up. Your high blood pressure, asthma, if you're pregnant, diabetes. Certain companies, if you were diagnosed with diabetes earlier than 30, won't do it. So those little codes matter, and I'm telling you to check your codes. So all that stuff that you trying to get for your kids and, say my kid got ADD and my kid is autistic and all that stuff, I want you to do your research.
That could stifle them. That
can mess them up in the future because you trying to get a check right now. So let's be careful in the things that we're doing for the now. If you have a diagnosis, make sure they're putting in the right code. Now, I'm gonna tell you why they do that, Rich. Because sometimes your insurance won't pay for certain stuff. So the doctors change the code so it probably could look worse than what it is. Now that it looks worse than what it is, and you could have had a mild case of whatever. Now that it looks that you have a massive case of it, it can stop you from getting insurance and things like that. This is the thing that we don't know that for now, is messing up in the future. So I'm currently fighting a case with the Medical Information Bureau because I just didn't know. I didn't know that they did that. Check your credit because there's certain things that you like, where this come from? Where this come from? Oh, I paid that off. Start checking these things because it hurt us when we trying to get a house. And then you like the people at the real estate agent like, oh, you got this on this? Wow. You got this on this? Wow. You got this on this? You like, no, I ain't got this on this. Yeah, you do. But it might not be right or it might be right. But before I feel like we don't prepare for something we want. So if we're preparing for the house, why wouldn't you get a full diagnosis of your credit?
Mm-hmm.
We just be jumping into stuff. But I'm starting in the next month. I just had a call. Like, Prosperity University Online is a university that it took me a while to create. And it's currently launched, and classes start in September through December. And I'm proud of this because we're teaching, the courses we have is real estate licensing. We have life insurance licensing. We have certificates in entrepreneurship. We have your licensing in taxation. We have all these things that are not traditionally you go to college for, but these are areas and fields that are making over 6 figures on your free time. And I'm saying your free time because for the most part, I feel like the workforce is so burnt out because a lot of people feel like they're not getting enough from it.
What is the tuition for Prosperity University?
Cheap. I'm not saying cheap. Industry standard.
Okay.
Industry standard. Like our life and our real estate course. So PA real estate course is $799, $800, and you can sit. It takes 3 months. You can sit online. We proctor it. We teach it, and then in 3 months you can sit for your real estate license in PA. It's only $799. In Delaware we have it where I think it's $13.99. Yeah, $13.99. So our proctor courses for real estate is PA, Delaware, and New Jersey, but we still have courses in Florida, all 50 states. It just won't be proctor. And when I'm saying proctor, it's not going to be physically taught. You have to go at your own pace and just click next, and take all the assignments.
And for the real estate course, the course you at the university is designed for you to pass the state required real estate test, and whatever state it's in.
Whatever state it's in. Right. So remember, every state has different hours. Mm-hmm. So Florida, I think, let me look at Florida real quick. But I know, like, for the most part, Philly, Delaware, and Jersey, they all have between 77 hours and 95. So that's like a 3-month course. But you got something like Texas that is 180, 180 hours. Mm-hmm. That's going to take you 6 months. Mm-hmm. So it really all depends on where you want to be licensed at. And then they have specific requirements. One requirement that PA has, you have to do a certain amount of hours on Zoom. That's just their requirements. So every state has their different requirements. And this school that I created was based on research, market research. Traditional colleges, and I'm telling you research because I went to college. I'm telling you I have 3 degrees. It's a lot of people get burnt out on college because, like we said before, the first 2 years burn you out on insignificant stuff
that you can't use,
stuff that you're not going to use in your major. Yeah. Maybe your math.
Yeah,
maybe your math. If you're a business major and you need math for stats, then cool. Right. You don't take in traditional universities, you don't take your core classes to junior or senior year. By that time, as a freshman or a sophomore, you're burnt out.
Yeah, you've been going to school
since kindergarten
and repeating the same stuff. You know, again, the science behind that is so you be able to have a sharper analytical skills, knowing it. But
they say they're creating critical thinkers. No, they're not. Right. No, you're not. Right. This is maybe with my generation. Every generation requires a redact of education.
I agree.
This is the problem. We have the education system from the 80s. We are in 2025, about to be in 2025. You know how much technology has increased by then? Mm-hmm. Why aren't we teaching that in school? Why isn't it not? Every school should have a technology class. Why?
100% agree.
I just don't understand I don't know what the education system gets on my nerves. I think that's why I created Prosperity University Online, is because there are certain things that we can do that don't require 4 years of our life. Mm-hmm. We just had 13 years of our lives from preschool to high school.
Word.
And at this point, at 18 on some real, we just want some money.
That's it.
we want some money.
Yeah, that's it.
Give me my money.
Or put me in, give me an opportunity to make money. Or put me in a factory to make money. And put me somewhere I can make some bread.
Mm-hmm. And education is important. It doesn't matter if it's from a 4-year university, a 2-year university, a 1-year certification, a 4-month certification. Education is important. But I think more so with this, we're in a whole new generation. It's time. Everybody wants money after high school. They want money. So the education system used to push us through a pipeline. It used to teach us just enough. I feel like we are more woke than we have ever been. I feel like the education system teaches us just enough to need college.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then it teaches us just enough to need your master's. Or it just teaches us just enough to go on to the next system. So if you think about it, a lot of stuff we learned in the first year of college, second year of college, we could have learned in 12th grade.
We should have.
We should have. We should have. Because that first year of math is nothing but the math you had in high school.
You know what it is? I think the problem is with public colleges is that when you get to college, not everybody's learning on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they make you go through the whole gauntlet all over again.
It don't make sense, though.
Yeah, it don't.
It don't. It don't. If I went to school for business, I just want to take my business classes, my finances, my accounting, and things like that,
and get a step in.
Mm-hmm. And move on. But and for the most part, if we look at the university model, most of us can't get into our field because we don't have the experience. So when I graduated undergrad, honestly, when I graduated undergrad, I already knew. I'm talking about for a regular, I already knew I wasn't going to corporate. And if I did go to corporate, it was for a stint where I just needed some money real quick for what I really wanted to do. So if you think about just leaving my bachelor's, not too many people are working in their field because the field, it maybe be oversaturated, or the field might be, it don't make enough money. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, if I went to college, somebody said Howard is $80,000 a year. That's 80 times 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
80 times 4.
That's crazy.
That is
crazy.
$320,000.
That's why she's trying to be president.
Like $320,000, and most people are in debt.
Yeah.
$320,000.
Yeah, that's why she's trying to be president.
If we go on a low scale, college is about $30,000 a year. Yeah. That's still 30 times 4, which is $120,000. Yeah. College should not be that high. Yeah. I don't care. Nobody should go into $120,000 debt for college. And then they be like, you can get a scholarship. Everybody can't get a scholarship. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't get that. So you're stuck with your financial aid. You're stuck with your student loans. And people are opting out of saying the generation before me still in student loan debt. I'm not doing it.
Word. I'm
not doing it. How many people paid off their student loans?
Never.
Out of 10 people, I probably think 2. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's the statistics. You don't make enough to do it.
I have a great setup. I just pay them what I want to.
You forgave them on your own. Everybody like, yeah, Biden gonna forgive our student loans. No, I already forgave. People like, I already forgave mine. I'm not paying it.
Yeah, I pay what I want to pay.
And then the interest.
Trash.
How about you just, all right, can y'all just not charge us the interest?
Trash.
We can afford it.
Trash.
But thank you, Biden, for taking away my student loans. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, on the most part, education system should be relooked every 5 years. Every 5 years. We should look at the new generation that's coming. If we research the new generation that's coming, what do they need? What did this generation need? Where are we at in society? Where are we at in the world? We are on an education system from the 1980s. 70s. This is 2025. So no wonder why our little boys and little girls are getting bored at school. they're learning the same material and it's not equipped for where they are in life. It's not equipped for where we are in the world. So I created Prosperity University to tackle that. You take exactly what you need. So if PA say 77 hours, 20 hours of ethics, you take exactly what you need to get your license. And this is all the courses that we offer. And this is just a new platform for entrepreneurs in critical thinking. Mm-hmm. Critical thinking has nothing to have to do for real. It's thinking outside the box. It's how to act more equipped to gain more of your time. Mm-hmm. That period. People don't like being in a workplace right now. You know why? They want their freedom. They don't want their 1 week vacation that you're offering them. They don't want their 2 week vacation that you're offering them. You know what they want? They want their time. Mm-hmm. And they want to work efficiently on their time. So this is why I feel like the workforce is like everybody's hiring, because nobody wants to work, because it's like, I'm done with this. COVID had something to do with that. Mm-hmm. COVID was the mastermind of what's going in the workforce, because it's like, I'm cool off that. And I think everybody is really working on valuing themselves. And it's like, yo, I don't need to do that. I don't need, because I'm seeing even a lot of nurses. Yeah. They're going from CNA to LPN, and then they get a job in a hospital as whatever. And guess what? Then they go back to school for RN, and then the hospital pays for it. Mm-hmm. They took a different route. But you looking at them funny because they're a CNA. Mm-hmm. Or you looking at them funny because they're an LPN. Yeah. And I'm a RN. But guess what? Yeah. You're a RN with 100 or 200,000 in debt. And that person is a RN with 40,000 in debt.
Yeah. This is a whole... I went skin the cat a whole different way.
A whole different way.
Yeah.
And no offense, while you was taking your 4-year, that person was already making money in their field.
In 90 days.
In 90 days. And honestly, I feel like a lot of CNAs appreciate it because, remember, the CNAs do most of the work when in the hospital under the RN. They do the washing and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? You know, the RN is just like, all right, let me read your chart. All right, you got these symptoms. Let me give you this medicine. And then they don't even come and give you that stuff. Oh, I'm sending the other person to come do it. And even like the doctors.
Same shit always.
Yeah, it's a trickle down. Unless you're a surgeon or something, that's a different type of thing where you're actively, consistently working. Yeah. But far as a traditional, just think about you take your kids to the doctors, to the regular primary. The primary care doctor doesn't do anything but refer you to something else. Mm-hmm. I took my son the other day. They said he has a heart murmur. What did they do? Give me a referral to go to the cardiologist, a specialty doctor. Mm-hmm. The doctor don't even give your kid the shot. Nope. Don't the person that come in, the nurse come in and give the person a shot.
The doctor looks in your mouth, open your ears. Okay. Yeah, I think you got a swollen gland. I'll be back.
So, honestly, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. Primary doctors don't do too much. I have 3 kids, and I can't remember. The primary doctors ask me questions, and from one of my doctor friends, they go out, they put your symptoms into the system. And you put your symptoms into the system, it tells you what the diagnosis is. So a lot of stuff is like, okay. But traditional colleges, mark my words, y'all, I give it 5 years. And colleges is going to run specials. You've seen it already. I have never seen colleges have billboards that say $10,000 for an MBA.
University of Phoenix, highlight my head. I seen it.
Shut up, because I got my master's from there. But that's what I mean. But they're a for-profit college. Mm-hmm. So they could do a lot of things different because they're a for-profit college. There are certain things that are for-profit and non-profit. In a non-profit aspect, you get more federal dollars. Those colleges that are for-profit, there are more because they're privately and they could do what they want. Mm-hmm. But non-profit colleges, they have to abide by the state. They can't charge but so much. Right. But they get state funded too. So I just feel like education is the key to your elevation as a person. But how you get your education shouldn't be determined just by, You know, people used to look down on people that don't have degrees. Now it's like, oh, you gonna go to college? Oh, all right, good for you.
Yeah.
You ever good for you.
Yeah.
You ain't got no debt.
Yeah.
So as we will come back, we're gonna still talk about just money, how to make money, how to create that wealth, and just passing on wealth to generation to generation. Do you want to work for, and I'm just leaving y'all this before commercial. Do you want to work for 40 years and you die and your kids burn through everything you had in 90 days? We'll be back. Think about that. We'll be back.